to practical. Tactical. High mobility vehicles, speed fighting forces anywhere they need to go.
There was nothing that really could stop us.
Practical. Sea and air vehicles for action and adventure.
Man, this thing handles like a champ.
And of course, those wild wheels.
I think it's the most fun you can have with your clothes on.
Tactical. Wear gear. Tactical technology head to toe.
The field commanders today recognize the need to have full body coverage.
Practical. Wear gear. All decked out for the great outdoors.
Sometimes Mother Nature's out to get us.
Plus, I'll count down my top 10 favorite things from tactical to practical. Tactical to practical. Developed for tactical advantage. Declassified for practical use.
Hi, I'm Hunter Ellis. The military has developed some of the most sophisticated technology in the world, and a lot of that R&D has led to some cool stuff on the civilian side. Today we're going to take a look at some killer things you can drive, ride, fly, or wear.
Plus, I'll count down my top 10 favorite things from tactical to practical.
Number 10 on my list of favorite toys is this little guy from our show on UAVs. This is the Dragon Flyer.
The Dragon Flyer is a remote-controlled, gyro-stabilized helicopter that operates on the same basic principles as the UAVs, or unmanned aerial vehicles used by the military. Not only is this thing fun to fly, but it can also get you a bird's-eye view from just about anywhere. It has a tiny video camera that sends images wirelessly from the helicopter.
Whether it's land, sea, or air, the military has some badass ways of getting around, and some of them came from the civilian side. We're going to check out some of the fastest, beefiest, most fun ways of getting from point A to point B.
Tactical. Motorcycles, boats, and planes get troops into battle and pull them out of harm's way. Practical. From custom choppers to jet skis to hang gliders, getting around has never been more fun.
The Army has used motorcycles since the First World War, and the military is still riding souped-up dirt bikes. But when it comes to pushing motorcycle technology, nobody beats the man on the street. And nothing fires up a gearhead like a custom chopper.
Custom motorcycles are going through a renaissance, and the people who build these bikes are true artists. Meet Arlen Ness, one of the best customizers in the business. Starting out of his garage in 1967, Arlen stripped down his Harley Knucklehead and gave it a unique paint job. His style was revolutionary, and he quickly gained a loyal following.
Probably the best thing about custom motorcycles is the notoriety, and second, the sound. The sound that you just got a real powerful motor that just crackles. It just, you hear the right one, it can make the hair in the back of your neck stand up.
Custom motorcycles are more than just a sweet paint job. Each bike is built to the exact specifications of the customer's size, weight, and personal style.
Once you've ridden any length, it always kind of stays with you. Then if you have a pretty slick bike and people admire it, and that's just frosting on the cake.
World War I, 1918. One day after the signing of the armistice, Corporal Roy Holtz is the first American to enter occupied Germany. He rides a U.S. Army issue Harley Davidson. When the doughboys come home, they bring their newfound love of the motorcycle back with them. Today's bikers still have that passion for the road.
Street bikes have come a long way in the past 100 years. Whether it's long-distance cruisers, tricked-out choppers, or wicked-fast super bikes, motorcycles own the road.
Right off the showroom floor, new bikes from Germany, Japan, and America combine the latest in beefed-up engineering with traditional style and flash. While these motorcycles are a blast on the street, nothing beats a bike when they get off-road. Motocross riders are pushing bike technology to wild new heights. The most recent machines are made to handle the toughest terrain and something new. They are made to fly.
I think it's the most fun you can have with your clothes on. It's a rush. If you jump out of an airplane, that's exciting, but you can only do it once in a while. This, you can do it all day long, day after day after day. Well, a lot of what's progressed is like all the sports now and all the extreme sports. One person will do a trick, then everybody else figures out how to do it. What that's done is it's taken the level so much higher than it was. If you look at a supercross race from 15 years ago, the guys are riding what would be a junior level now.
The Marines have seen what these consumer dirt bikes can do and have commissioned them for their motor pool. The same killer off-road bikes civilians are using for fun are being souped up to launch Marines into battle.
The durability and the speed and maneuverability are the things that they're looking at. You can cover ground on one of these things at 45 or 50 that would beat a Humvee or a Jeep to pieces in a matter of an hour.
When it comes to motorcycles, everybody has an opinion. Hogs versus super bikes versus choppers. To get to the bottom of it, we went to the writers of the Ultimate Gift Guide.
Like their cars, BMW motorcycles are regarded as being incredibly reliable. They have a reputation for quality that's won them a lot of loyal customers for life.
This new BMW Montauk is a combination cruiser sport bike. The heart of the machine is a bulletproof 1200cc horizontally opposed engine with plenty of power and torque. And in the scheme of things, this bad boy is relatively affordable at under 15 grand.
I think most bikers are seduced at one time or another by a V-twin. For someone who wants something a little different, a custom chopper, a bike like the Big Dog Ridgeback is a great choice.
This bike is bigger than anything that comes out of Milwaukee. The Ridgeback is built around a huge 107-inch motor and has an 82-inch wheelbase. That's like a freight train in the scheme of the bike world. It's perfectly at home cruising the boulevard or the highway.
For me, the most exciting bike of the year is actually 50 years old. The most venerable name in motorcycling has got to be the Vincent.
The last Vincent was manufactured in Britain around 1955. But today, a company called Harris Vincent Gallery is producing exquisitely remanufactured, restored Vincents to original specifications and carrying on the tradition of the great Vincent into the 21st century.
When I had an opportunity to ride the Vincent Black Shadow for the first time, it was like going back in a time capsule and really understanding what motorcycling was all about in 1955. For someone like myself who loves the old Ducati bevel drives, the sound, the fury of the valve train and the gears meshing, the Vincent 1000cc V-twin is an even more exciting experience.
When it comes to innovative transportation, nothing turns as many heads as the Segway human transporter. The electric-powered Segway was designed by legendary inventor Dean Kamen and is a self-balancing scooter that can pretty much go anywhere people can walk. The military is looking to make their entire motor pool more energy efficient. One electric propulsion system called Wavecrest is already being used by the military and law enforcement to power the Tidal Force M313 electric bike. These bikes are able to move quietly over rough terrain at speeds of nearly 30 miles per hour and are ideal for stealthy maneuvers.
There are enormous new possibilities. Possibilities for motors that are small enough and powerful enough and designed so they actually fit in the wheel, freeing up the open space of vehicles. So with battery technology or with a hydrogen economy, you now have a propulsion unit that could be, at least in the vehicle, pollution-free.
Of course, if you really want a fuel-efficient vehicle, just go with pedal power. The Jeep started the four-wheel drive craze, and now Jeep is bringing an all-wheel drive mountain bike to the trail. Check this out. Jeep has created a human-powered ATV. Using an internal shaft-driven system that runs through the front forks, the Jeep Rubicon bike allows riders to engage both wheels for additional pedal power. We started out on land talking about motorcycles. Now we're gonna head out to sea. If you're gonna make that move, the best thing you can have is an amphibious vehicle. Amphibious landing craft come into their own during World War II. These vehicles transport thousands of troops from the sea inland to the battlefront. I know you've been waiting for this one. Now you can own your own amphibious car. This is the Gibbs Aquata. Before you laugh, you better know that this fully street-legal car is outfitted with a V6 engine that can push it over 100 miles per hour. On the water, the jet propulsion system is capable of delivering 175 horsepower. That's nearly a ton of thrust, which enables this car, or boat, to plane in excess of 30 miles per hour on the water. James Bond would be jealous. What's bright yellow, looks like an airplane, and rides across the water at lightning speed? That'd be number 9 on my top 10 favorite toys. We'll show you how this baby can fly over water. All right, number 9 on my list of Tactical to Practical's top 10 toys is the Outrider Speedboat from our Story On Specialty Boats. The Clem Outrider is an aerodynamic speedboat with a water prop that uses air as its principal source of lift, stability, and control. This boat gives you an extremely comfortable ride because its hull flies over most waves. Water contact is mainly at the ski and the bottoms of the tip plates, which are only 1.5 inches wide. Hitting speeds of up to 80 miles per hour, ripping over rough water, you get the feeling that this baby really wants to fly. Clear. Tactical. Navy rescue teams take personal watercraft out on rough water patrol.
These guys are really working hard in that surf, and a lot of things can go wrong quickly.
Practical. Powered surfboards turn the boating community on its ear. Personal watercraft like this Yamaha FX Cruiser have become the motorcycles of the open water. People have been booking around on these things for years, and now the military is starting to catch on. This is Sean Eladio, one of the foremost personal watercraft instructors in the world. She has trained lifeguards and safety personnel on every corner of the globe. Now, she's teaching the military a thing or two about how to use these versatile watercraft.
The military is using them primarily as a safety vessel when they're doing their training ops with all the new platoons, the new students that come on board before they get on their deployments. And they train them in their surf ops and small boat courses. And they'll use these to actually rescue people during the classes that have problems in the water. Every year a new division gets involved and tries to find a way to better serve their soldiers and to impact their divisions. And it's a great utility vessel.
The military's use of these PWCs follows years of experience by civilian lifeguards in heavy surf. These craft have a resiliency that makes them a great vehicle for rough water conditions. Attached to the back of the PWC is a rescue sled. These allow rescue personnel to work as a team and to use the boats to pull people out of the water.
Okay, so we got basically 3 points of attachment, but it also allows some movement back and forth.
Correct. It'll allow basic up and down movement and some side-to-side movement.
Of course, the primary use of these boats is having fun.
It's a new technological design. It's pretty much revolutionized boating.
Surfing is one of my favorite sports. The thing I love is harnessing the power of nature for the ultimate ride. But what if you mixed this with that?
Now, Bob, I've flown jets and I've ridden many a surfboard, but I've never ridden a power ski jetboard. Tell me about it.
Well, this is the Igniter 330 power ski jetboard, and it's brand new.
And it rides like a surfboard.
It rides like a surfboard.
How does it work?
Actually, you lean left, lean right, and it turns.
Just like
simple
a
as
surfboard.
that.
Yeah, I mean, just like riding the waves.
And this is what it's all about. It's all here in the handle, which separates it from a surfboard.
Okay.
This is your best friend, this throttle,
Speed is
Hunter.
life. Speed is life.
Or your worst enemy. Make it your best friend.
Okay.
Now you don't need an ocean to surf. The Power Ski Jetboard packs a 2-stroke water-cooled 45 horsepower engine and axial flow jet pump into a board that delivers a stand-up ride at speeds up to 40 miles per hour. You ride it like a surfboard and control your speed with a throttle on the handle. As a surfer, I gotta say, this just might make my list of all-time favorite toys.
It really is like surfing.
It is.
It's great.
I'm telling you, you did very good. I probably put 800 people on the jetboard.
Really?
And you're in the top 10, buddy.
All right, man.
Yeah, Team Power Ski, for sure, all the way.
Bring it on.
At the end of World War II, the Germans began using small, remote-controlled boats laden with high explosives to blow bridges and attack warships. While the German plan was pretty much a bust, today some water skiers have come up with something similar, but a little less deadly. This is the Solo Personal Water Ski Machine. No more need for a big ski boat or having to drag your buddies out to the lake to drive it. The skier actually controls the boat from the tow rope handle. Whether you're cutting the glass with your favorite slalom ski or ripping that new wakeboard, this boat gives you more than enough pull. Of course, if you have this boat, you also won't be hanging out with your buddies or cruising the lake with a hot date. What can give your normal everyday truck the traction of a battle tank? Check out the number 8 pick on my Tactical to Practical Top 10 Toys.
Yeah.
Introducing Duralast 2.
Tactical to practical, baby. If you're cruising the streets on this, you're definitely going to get some attention. But if you're off-road, the thing that's going to turn the most heads is number 8 on my list of top 10 favorite toys. It's the Matrax conversion system.
Matrax has come up with a way to turn your SUV into a suburban assault vehicle. The Matrax conversion kit fits on just about any 4x4. Your truck retains the same turning radius, while the treads add extra ground clearance and flotation. The 16-inch wide track tread provides a smooth ride on hard surfaces and unbelievable traction in mud, snow, and sand.
Yeah!
Tactical. NASA engineers stretch the limits of the atmosphere and redefine the dynamics of flight. Practical. Hang glider pilots take off to glide like birds on the wing.
This is really flying.
We've looked at some fun ways to get around on land and sea. Now we're gonna grab some major air. A new sport is taking off right out there, kiteboarding.
The sport of kiteboarding combines the skills of sailing with all the fun of wakeboarding. Enormous inflatable kites power the kiters across the water just as fast as windsurfers. There's one difference. When kite surfers launch off a wave, they really fly.
You can use the kite as you're kiting along to rapidly pull into the air, and some of the biggest jumps we've seen typically are 35, 40 feet. However, recently, I've seen people go as high as 65 feet on a kite and land. The kite that we use for kite surfing is really just a sail, and it's what we use to power our vessel. Our vessel is a small board, like a wakeboard. So basically our kite is used in combination with the board as an edge or keel, and the kite is our sail. Kite surfing is an amazing sport. It's something that when you get started with, it's addictive. It's amazing to be able to fly and be free.
The sport of kiteboarding actually has its roots in the space race. Francis Regallo, a NASA engineer, developed a parachute-like flexible structure that could deploy and maintain its shape by wind pressure. The original idea was to create a means for spacecraft to better control their descent and landing. This idea was later applied to NASA's X-38 project. The X-38 was designed as a space station crew return vehicle. After the deorbit engine module is jettisoned, the X-38 would deploy a steerable parafoil parachute for its final descent to landing. Regallo patented his wing design and then gave it away. Flyers took it and it took off in the form of hang gliding.
That's so great. Tactical to practical, baby. Woo!
Since the world's first hang glider meet in 1971, the Regallo wing has been used by millions to experience the thrill of soaring.
Hang gliding is that dream of flight you've always had, except that now you can really do it. So when we talk about flying, this is really flying.
Ah, this is sweet.
As a former fighter pilot, I'm amazed by how different the feeling of flying a hang glider is. Instead of relying on powerful jet engines, we soar like a bird, suspended in midair.
Oh, wow.
As we ride the thermal updrafts, I feel almost weightless. The invention of the Regallo wing gave birth to hang gliding and also to sports like paragliding. These guys open up a parachute-like wing, harness the air, and soar for hours. But what if there's no wind? This is the six-shooter. Powered parachutes are the fastest growing segment of light aviation, and flying one of these is so simple almost anyone can master it. You take off by pointing into the wind, fire up the engine to inflate the chute, increase the throttle, and lift off. Top speed is about 26 miles an hour. Want to climb? Give it more juice. Push the stick to the right and you go right. Push left, go left. To get your feet back on the ground, lay off the gas and down you go.
The military reigns supreme in the air, but the technology developed for fighter aircraft has also made its way into civilian aviation. Check out the latest executive airplanes on the market.
Well, the Cirrus SR-22 is my kind of plane. If I were going to fly, that would be my pick, because what the Cirrus has in spades is safety. You might want to call it the Volvo of the air.
The Cirrus has plenty of performance with a 310 horsepower engine that allows it to climb at 1,400 feet per minute. But the unique feature of the SR-22 is the Cirrus airframe parachute system. In the event of a mishap in the air, the aircraft has a parachute that can deploy to actually coddle the plane and glide it down to Earth safely. If you want to graduate from a turboprop to a jet, the Eclipse 500 is a great choice. With a range of 1,800 miles and a cruising speed of 400 miles per hour, it's perfect for the short-distance traveler.
The Eclipse 500 is an incredibly advanced aircraft in terms of its construction technologies at about $840,000. This is the most cost-effective way to get into a personal or corporate business jet.
We've had a blast playing in the air, but number 7 on my list is firmly on the ground, moving fast.
Extreme Gadgets, part of Boys Toys Week tonight.
Yes! Number 7 on my list of top 10 favorite toys comes from our show on lightweight off-road vehicles. Check out the Kawasaki V-Force ATV. ATVs have taken the off-road world by storm and are even more popular than motorcycles. The Kawasaki KFX 700 V-Force is the first sport ATV to feature a V-twin engine. The liquid-cooled 697cc 4-stroke is also matched to a continuously variable automatic transmission. What that means is riders don't get as fatigued as they do on a typical manual shift ATV, so they can ride more aggressively for longer periods of time. And this thing handles like a champ.
Basically, these ATVs are an absolute blast to drive.
Woo!
Tactical. High-tech gear keeps soldiers connected and protected.
The gear is getting lighter, it's getting stronger, it's allowing him to accomplish his mission.
Practical. Extreme sports made safer, and high-tech tools to locate and communicate.
You can be in touch with anyone, anywhere, at any time.
Today's U.S. military employs the latest electronic technology and high-tech clothing to give soldiers an edge on the battlefield, helping them fight longer and stronger. Today's outdoor adventurers are also using state-of-the-art clothing to gain a competitive edge in outdoor sports, and using electronic devices that are direct offshoots of military technology.
Staying in touch in the great outdoors is key. The Garmin Rhino uses the latest GPS technology, courtesy of the military, to always let you know where you are. And it's also a high-tech walkie-talkie that has great range for two-way communication.
That's why it's my number 6 pick.
Tactical to practical, go ahead.
There are 2 popular systems for short-range radio communication, FRS and GMRS. FRS, or Family Radio Service Mode, is for communicating within a radius of 2 miles. GMRS, or General Mobile Radio Service Mode, works within a 5-mile radius, and you have to buy an FCC license to use it. The Garmin Rhino can handle both FRS and GMRS frequencies, and the position reporting feature allows you to send and receive GPS locations from other users so you can keep track of family and friends.
Journalists during World War II coined the term walkie-talkie for the military's new two-way radios.
The Army puts walkie-talkies to use as portable, handheld air-to-ground communication devices using the world of FM waves.
Walkie-talkies were a big improvement because they allowed for mobile communications. You can carry it with you, and in an emergency, you had it.
Walkie-talkies were great for communicating over relatively short distances, but the military wanted more.
1973, the first handheld cellular phone is invented by Martin Cooper, an engineer at Motorola. While walkie-talkies only have a range of about 20 to 30 miles, the cell phone's range is limitless, if it can get reception. In spite of their advantages, the military doesn't trust cell phones for front-line communication because battle commands can be intercepted through the air and give away their position. In Afghanistan, the U.S. military has tracked al-Qaeda terrorists by pinpointing their locations during cell phone calls.
Digital cell phone systems today provide a pretty secure network, provided the government isn't looking for you. Cell phones like the Sanyo 8100 can do lots of things. They can take pictures, you can send emails, even play games. But there's one problem. You can't always get reception. So, for communication in remote parts of the world, the military uses satellite phones.
What about those buildings? Can it be coming from those buildings?
Now, soldiers and vehicles deployed anywhere around the planet can be in touch thanks to military satellites circling overhead. During Operation Iraqi Freedom, the latest encryption technology keeps sensitive information secure.
Not only was the message encrypted, but the wavelengths that it went over were scrambled. So you had this sort of double coding system that was very difficult to break that kind of code.
Using this new technology, we can be in touch from anywhere now. I can even make a phone call from the North Pole using this new 9505 satellite phone from Motorola. And if I were to hook it up to this laptop here, I could send email or do work from the backcountry. But not that I'd want to.
The mobility of computers means they also have to take more abuse. The Itronix military-issue laptop can stand up to the punishment. And it's used in all sorts of industries as well.
Whether you're trying to take a hill in battle or if you're just out on a morning run, a timepiece with a compass that can measure altitude, barometric pressure, and even your heart rate can be a real lifesaver.
Champion adventure racer Robin Benacasa relies on her Sunto watch to keep track of critical information.
If you think you're in a particular location and you're saying, oh, there's not a cliff here, I can see on the map that at 2,000 feet there's no cliff, and you start walking in that direction, you know, if you've got your altitude wrong, you could be dead.
Soldiers also use timepieces for critical information in the heat of battle. And whether they're fighting the enemy or Mother Nature, they also need protection.
Body armor is the result of hundreds of years of testing in life and death conditions. In the 1970s, armor is revolutionized by bulletproof flak jackets and helmets made of a new type of fiber, of which Kevlar is the most well-known. These aramid fibers are light and help protect soldiers on the run. For extreme sports enthusiasts, today's safety equipment is like body armor for civilians. Schutt Sports makes specially padded football helmets that have the same shock-absorbing material used on the decks of Navy SEAL boats and are being tested in new helmets for Navy pilots. Many sports use specialized body and head protection, like off-road biking, mountain boarding, auto racing, and rodeo riding.
you want to start by minimizing any risk, and that's to always wear the proper apparel. That's helmet, goggles, gloves, boots, chest protector. Riding safe is riding smart.
When you're off-roading, you gotta be safe. This is Thor's Aftershock Chest Protector. It's made of a high-tech lightweight plastic that'll save your skin if you ever take a tumble. Head and body armor stop projectiles. To beat the elements, the Army's got a veritable department store of essential gear. And a lot of these products are coming from the civilian sector. Most of us know Oakley for its surf and skate clothing, but it also makes these Special Forces combat boots. They're a huge improvement over what the military grunts were sloshing around in before.
We wore jungle boots in certain operations, and other operations we had just a high leather boot. Very, very crude and uncomfortable. The break-in process was very lengthy.
The soles of the Oakley boots are made with the same material that auto racing tires use for traction. And when it comes to comfort, break-in blisters are a thing of the past. Special Forces soldiers also need protection from the sun and other intense lighting conditions. So Oakley makes these special issue sunglasses for the military and these goggles, which everyone saw during Operation Iraqi Freedom, which protect the troops from blowing sand as well as laser light on the battlefield. The latest missiles and bombs use high-intensity lasers for guidance. Without the right eye protection, these and other hazardous lights can be a blinding experience. These shades can also take a direct hit. They can stare down a 1/4-inch solid steel ball bearing shot at 102 miles per hour. From head to toe and from eyewear to backpacks, the military is keeping its battle force ready with ultralight gear and ingenious devices to keep troops hydrated.
I would definitely say the most important things that we need are ammunition and probably water.
These new Camelback knapsacks are very popular with outdoor enthusiasts, and you can fill them with lots of fluid. Now, the military has its own version that it's using to hydrate the troops. Not only can you fill it with 100 fluid ounces of water, but you can also fill it with gear. All right, looks like I'm all set. I got my body armor, my helmet, and this cool helmet cam. Not only am I protected if I take a digger, but I'll get it all on tape. We'll see ya. You can't beat this off-road adventure. In the last few years, the military has truly gone high-tech. And more than ever, today's soldier relies on the latest technology that offers life-saving protection and critical communication. Today's warrior has all kinds of gadgets for keeping track of the bad guys, like tiny helmet cams for low-light conditions. But they're not the only ones with helmet cams. I'm in Hungry Valley State Park in Southern California in the middle of a great off-road adventure. What's really cool is that I can keep both hands on my bike and still record all the excitement with this mountable adventure cam from Viosport. Just hook it on your helmet and you won't miss a trick. On the ground and through the airwaves, gear that soldiers wear keeps them safe and in close contact. The military's need for staying in touch helps civilians too. The latest electronic gear and clothing for rough and tumble action has already been battle tested for you. This is a trimaran, which is great for the open ocean. But what if you were at sea just a little too long and wanted to get back on land? Well, now you can without even leaving the boat, thanks to my number 5 pick.
the Air Commander hovercraft. The Air Commander AC-3 is a fast and fun way to fly across land or water. The British and U.S. Navies have been using hovercraft for over 40 years. Now you can have your own float boat with the Air Commander. We put this hovercraft through its paces out in the Florida Everglades. Riding a cushion of air 8 inches above the surface, the AC-3 can hit speeds of over 70 miles per hour. The only way to fly.
Ever been diving with a buddy and wanted to warn him about that big shark that's right behind him? Well, now you can. Here's number 4 on my list.
Now you can communicate with your diving buddy underwater without using hand signals.
Come on, Hunter, we'll take a drop over the edge of the wreck down to the seafloor. All right, let's go see what we find.
The AGA full-face diving mask, combined with the Ocean Technology Systems Buddy Phone, offers experienced divers the opportunity to talk underwater like never before.
Look at that fish. That is so cool.
Noise-canceling microphones allow for crystal clear communication.
Now, let's see who we got here.
This makes them great for recreational divers, but even better for units like the U.S. Navy's Experimental Diving Unit.
It's a whole other world down here.
When you're flying solo, nothing beats this. But if you got a hot date in a cocktail dress, you may need something a little more. Check out number 3 on my top 10 favorite list of toys.
The Mercedes-Benz SL55 AMG is designed for true performance enthusiasts. Yet here, tactical precision driving meets practical technology. The SL55 AMG is equipped with a new radar crash avoidance system. The Distronic system is the world's first adaptive cruise control. If there's a roadhog in front of you, a radar sensor in the grille can pinpoint its location. The Distronic system can automatically adjust the throttle and even apply up to 20% of the car's braking power. Once Granny gets out of the way, the cruise control will kick back in and you'll be back on your way. Now, the thrill of the ride comes with peace of mind.
For my number 2 pick, I wanted to get back up into the air, but this time in a personal helicopter that I can build myself.
Rotorway International's Exec 162F is one of the most popular and technologically advanced kit aircraft on the market. You may have seen a build-your-own helicopter ad in the back of a magazine, but these aren't lawnmower engine go-karts. For the cost of a luxury car, these helicopters give you a safe, fast, and totally reliable way of getting into the pilot's seat. The Exec 162F is relatively easy to build and maintain, and it's really fun to fly. Once you've completed building your helicopter, Rotorway will provide you instruction to become a licensed helicopter pilot. The sleek 2-seat design makes it feel like a sports car in the air. It's no F-18, but I had a blast flying it.
So what's my number 1 pick? Well, I hit the backcountry behind the wheel of the ultimate toy. This thing could really tear it up through sand, mud, and sometimes even the air. Check it out.
My favorite toy has got to be the Cheneth Dune Buggy. Cheneth Racing is the most experienced manufacturer of high-performance off-road racing buggies. These cars are routinely the top finishers of the Baja 1000. The Cheneth Explorer is a new 4-seat Baja Desert Beam car or buggy that you can buy. They've taken their already popular 4-seater, stretched it, widened it, and perfected it to make the desert or duning experience more comfortable and exciting. Tactical, high-mobility vehicles with speed, strength, and special design take the fight to the battlefront. Practical, with 2 wheels, 4 wheels, or no wheels. In the air, in the water, and on any kind of ground. We're at play in a world of wonder. Tactical. High-tech gear keeps soldiers safe in battle and connected to their company. Practical. Extreme adventure gear gets to the top intact. Tactical to practical. Technology moving from government deployment to everyone's enjoyment.
Today, we play with some of the coolest high-tech toys available. Yet the toys of tomorrow promise to be even more spectacular. The History Channel presents a week-long event with the coolest cars, the wildest gadgets, and the most out-there technology to drive men wild. A global presentation. Boys'